I'm going to get into some opportunities that we identified for you. So the critical issue that we found for you is that you need to maintain and grow your market share in the industry. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. The underlying issues with this are that mobile competition is becoming fierce, and apps are looking to be making GPS inferior. And wearables are a big technology that has been making a move in the market lately, and so you're looking to capitalize on that market segment. And then, like I said, apps, they're definitely pushing it up. And then dedicated devices. So like we've seen with Kodak and their refusal to switch to digital and their subsequent bankruptcy, you're a little unsure of whether you're going to be relevant in the future. And so you also had a concern about an opportunity to achieve operational efficiencies by moving your operations to another country. So we're going to address that for you today.
So we would like to go through a small analysis we did of your company. So starting off, we saw that you have a short turnaround for new products. We see this as a fantastic quality of your company. So it takes only 12 months for a whole new category to come out. This is competitive in itself, as many other companies have a lot longer turnover. You have a strong staff, so you have many engineers, you have the research capacity, as well as the production capacity within your company already. You have presence in all 5 segments of this industry. So the automotive industry, the aviation industry, fitness, outdoor, as well as the marine industry. We see this as a benefit. We don't think that you have spread yourselves too thin, and we would like to see you maintain your presence in all 5 of these industries. Of these segments of the industry. Now for your factories, as you expanded, your factories expanded at a modest rate, so you expanded with patience. This has created stable finances for yourselves, as you have cash assets as well as other capital assets. However, you are a light capital company, and we would like to see you stay that way. Also, on your board of directors, you have one of the original founders and the man accredited with the original software for your company. We see this also as a fantastic asset, as you can confer with him and look to his advice, as well as many of your efficient accredited staff members if you require it in the future or at this time. So a few opportunities that we identified for your improvement are the stock price decrease. So you saw in the last year that your stock price has decreased significantly, and we have some recommendations that we believe will help resolve this for you. And your wearables are not a strong competitor. We have as well some recommendations that will create a competitive edge over companies in the same segment as yourself. And the potential factory inefficiency. So in your factory in Taiwan, it was identified that your operational capacity ranges between 30 to 100%, though it does usually sit at around 60%. So we would see this addressed and just make sure that this is being used efficiently and your resources are not being wasted in any way.
So we did a bit of a Porter's analysis here. And so we saw that the threat of substitutes is about a medium. So the substitutes for your products would be maps and other products that are using GPS. But we believe that there aren't too many other substitutes out there, so that's about a medium threat. And so then we go to threat of new entrants, and that is low, as it does require quite a bit of capital to start up a GPS type company. And then bargaining power suppliers, which is a high power. So that's because you have fair suppliers with your competitors. And then the bargaining power of buyers, which is high, as there are quite a few other options for GPS devices out on the market. And so that leads to a rivalry of medium. So you do have some opportunity to compete in the market, but you're not going to get ousted by others. And then we took a look at some different options for you. So the first one was to introduce yourselves to new markets, which would take about 6 months, and the cost would be about medium. Then we looked at outsourcing your manufacturing, and we strongly want to make clear that we do not want you to do this, as that could jeopardize the quality of your product. And so we are not going to go with that option. And then the next option was modify existing products. And there's several different options that you could go for within that option. And then creating a mobile app. So you expressed interest in creating a mobile app, as it does seem like mobile apps are becoming the way of the future, and you're concerned that your GPS won't be relevant in the future. And then offering just a new product, so something new, something in a new market, other than aviation or outdoor fitness. And what we chose was to modify your existing products and then create a mobile app.
A lot of users of GPS technology want precise GPS technology no matter where they go. For example, if you are on your smartphone and you're driving and you decide to get off the road and hike up a mountain, Google Earth will follow you to an extent, but without data services or Wi-Fi, this is very limited, and there, even a small margin of error can have catastrophic results if you are lost or injured, for example. Your technology works where data and Wi-Fi doesn't exist, so we would like to see you really emphasize and capitalize on this advantage. And this synergy as well. Big data, technology, they have profound effects on the business world, and they are continuing to. This happens at a local level, a national level, and an international level, of course. By making the smartphone your designated device, we would see you, Garden, have your services expand on the smartphone experience. So instead of trying to compete with the smartphone, which we don't see as a trend going out of style in the short future, your products would enhance the smartphone experience in ways that it can't on its own.
So in order to hit our goals, we create a little plan, and that involves upgrading your wearables selection or features. Because they are upcoming, they're expected to be about $34 billion in the market by 2020. And while you do have a line already, we would like to see them be able to work with your current products and hopefully attract new customers while maintaining old customers as well. We looked into a car deal because your GPS is so technologically advanced, and there seems to be a bit of a gap in the current vehicle GPS industry. We're looking to make deals, hopefully with Jeep, to branch out and expand your brand into a new kind of market and be able to work with your other technology. The mobile app is going to be a key feature because it involves incorporating everything that you already have and combining it onto your cell phone in order to get a competitive edge against be it companies such as Lazy or Google. It will be able to combine the wearable products. It will be able to incorporate your vehicle. We have plans for it to incorporate the aviation and the marine as well. And we're looking into making sure that everything works seamlessly and it all flows smoothly. So synergy is a big thing that we're aiming for, and we're hoping that with these goals and our ideas, it will all fall into place and it will all work smoothly, giving your company the edge against their competitors. So the target market is North American market. Being a GPS and outdoor oriented company, we're looking to use that image and sell the outdoors life to your customers that they're already buying. So we're targeting your tourists who are coming to Canada to go hiking, the hunters who are already in the outdoors, say up in the Yukon or North British Columbia or even far into Ontario. The backcountry enthusiasts, such as the farmers and their hobbies, they like to go quadding or say the odd hike in Alberta. It has a very opportunistic market, and we are hoping to capitalize on that. So the benefit is we have a singular product. Now, we have a couple products out there already, but they don't work together, so we're hoping to combine them all into one and make sure that you get the benefits of all of them. So the seamless integration is going to be a big part because it's a bit of a pain to have to switch from, say, one device is not compatible with the other. It doesn't flow well. You're often frustrated, and honestly, it kind of brings down the overall feeling of the product. So some of the risks that we've identified, if they
like to see you add a solar charger onto your wearables and your existing hunting, backpacking, outdoor enthusiast specific devices. One of the problems we see with a smartphone is when your battery dies, you're out of trouble. And if you're basing your life off of a battery, we would like to see all of the possible backup and support for that possible. You have a fantastic team for developing new products. We would see you develop a solar panel existing in these and perhaps a patent on them. We would also, you were one of the first companies to use a heart rate monitor in your wearables. Other companies have used a heart rate monitor, but so far they do not exist with any outdoor GPS devices. So if you were a wife sitting at home while your husband's out hunting, it would be much more reassuring to be able to see a heart rate, even if the position wasn't moving. Say for some reason there was not a possibility for a two-way text to go through, as that does happen with any platform of an outdoor GPS, you would still be aware of quality of life. And even for search and rescue, this could be like a very valid quality to have in your device. And we would see you plan your marketing campaign. So to specify this a little bit more, we don't think you should only target a North American market and not specifically the outdoor enthusiast. But we would like to see you really concentrate on this niche market to strengthen your brand because of the edge that you do offer. Your safety and your future synergy of your product combined together will really appeal to this market. And by creating a stronger branding, we feel you can then gain popularity and gain more of a market share by loyal consumers. And as we said, touched on earlier, we would like to see you approach Avalanche Canada initially. This could be a different not-for-profit or disaster prevention organization in a different country in the future, but we feel this would be a great place to start. So by having that technology accessible to backcountry enthusiasts, for example, they would know in real time if there were avalanches nearby. Another option would be RedShield. So RedShield, it is a GPS technology that monitors crime in real time. We see this being beneficial to working with Jeep, for example, and having GPS in a vehicle. So even if you were driving in another country you didn't know, you would have alerts coming up saying, oh, there was a major accident 2.5 blocks away, or this is a very high crime rated neighborhood. RedShield last year had expressed interest in working with either a partner or being acquired, and so far there has been no acquisition, and they may be open to a third partner. So we would see you create this mobile app. You do have the capacity to engineer this platform. We believe that this should start immediately. And negotiations with RedShield, reach out to them, make contact. If they aren't available, there are a few other similar companies on the market, and you could help them develop their technologies if they were at all inferior to RedShield. It's more the concept than the technology. However, the background information RedShield presents, we feel it would be the best opportunity for you in this situation. And for wearables, we would see you integrate with the mobile app into development. So you're in your vehicle driving down the street, your GPS is working, you get out of the truck, and the same GPS is functioning on your wrist. You can access this through a cloud-like service on your cell phone anywhere. Even if you have no service, all that information is available, visible. A third party can access it. Safety, synergy, it works. Automotives. After planning with the marketing campaign, of course, so really doing some more research into your targeted demographic, seeing if there's new segmentations that would also be beneficial to target initially. Then we would see you approaching Jeep or another automotive company, as we mentioned. As let's face it, yes, GPS technology in vehicles is very subpar and inferior to a smartphone. So if we could offer that service in the vehicle, which you are illegal to use your cell phone in a vehicle, that's a very fantastic use for your technology. And then conducting negotiations with Jeep. And for operations, we would see a 5-person team, perhaps a little smaller, or maybe 1 person more. We would send them to Taiwan to do an assessment of the operational efficiencies of your plant, since a 30 to 100% range of capacity is potentially an issue. So sending them there, we have allocated $120,000 to this, even just for a few-week period. And you have such great communication between your countries, between Taiwan and the UK, with the time change lining up properly. We feel you could address these issues from afar, and you wouldn't need to relocate someone permanently there. It's just a small problem to address. So then, of course, you would assess the results however they come, and you would implement your recommendations without having to invest in relocating staff to whatever.
So then the milestones for this phase, with the outdoor, you would complete your design and the production specifications, and then you would make that partnership with Avalanche Canada. With your mobile app, the development would be complete by the end of this phase, and you would sign the deal with RedShield. And then with your wearables, your software update would be complete, and with the automotive, you would sign that deal with GM. only to the outdoor enthusiasts, but also to recreational aviation users and marine users. And then you would also release the product to the market with those new innovations. And you would use the Avalon Canada data integrated into that product. And then you would also release your app in the App Store and on Google Play. And with your wearables, you would release the marketing campaign and the product release again. And with the automotive, you would work with Jeep to develop the vehicle software. So this is when you're starting to get it to work in the vehicles before the vehicles are actually released. And so for phase 2 milestones, before you move on to phase 3, in outdoor, your product will be to market in North American stores. And so we would like to see it anywhere that you sell your Garmin products. And then that free mobile app will be released, like I said. And with wearables, you will start to see that you're regaining market share. And in automotive, your software will be developed and ready to be released onto the market. So then for phase 3 action items. In outdoor, you're going to develop marketing towards a marketing campaign towards other markets. So the ones that we had talked about were China, Switzerland, and Germany. These are people from these countries, they tend to come to Canada for outdoor sort of tourism, and so I think that might be a good market to go towards. And then your free mobile app, you will continue your updates to keep it updated and make sure that the software works on people's phones and continue marketing. With wearables, you continue updates again and continue marketing, and then automotive, the 2019 Jeeps will be released with the GPS software.
So for our budget, the negotiations between the companies would take about 5% of the total contract values, and we're not 100% sure what the contract value would be yet, so we get a for that in the budget, and we'll address that later. And for the marketing campaign, we addressed a total of $22 million allocated separately for the outdoor, the wearables, and the automotive ads, as well as for the Taiwanese operations consultation. It will cost about $120,000 for the team of 5 employees to go over there and evaluate the factors.
So looking back, I believe that we addressed all these issues very well. We are going to help you maintain your market share and even grow it with that new GPS technology within Jeeps or another vehicle. And your wearable technology is going to be competitive in the market, so that's pretty exciting. And with a dedicated device, you're going to remain a competitor in the market, and that first mover advantage that you have, it won't be lost. So thank you. Any questions?
How did you decide on the allocating your market? How did you decide what percentage to distribute to the different companies?
So I did half for the wearables, and then outdoor I figured it would be a bit more than automotive, as automotive will be shared with the company that you will be working with.
Just based on.
Based on information that I've learned.
Okay.
And with wearables being like a big upcoming market, we would like to allocate the most to that, seeing as we have the most potential there.
From a global market perspective, is North America the buying target, and there are a few other countries, China, Switzerland. Are there any particular compelling events or trends that maybe shape those choices?
Yeah, absolutely. Since you all, there's quite a few different factors that play into any decision of where to, of course, target and do segmentation. Seeing as hunting in Canada, that was initially what we thought of. When I think Garmin, I think of that GPS device. I've personally used one when I've gone hiking, and I rely on it for my life. So I believe that that's a very good use of technology. People come from all over the world to Canada to hunt and fish, which is another part of their segmentation. So naturally, North America was one of our segmentations. Also, it's a market that has better statistics, it's more understood for your company as you're based out of the United States. So we would see you start there, but as mentioned, expand. Europe, of course, and perhaps into Asia afterwards, after the product really has that stronger brand image.
Just briefly, could you explain to me your marine aviation strategy? Is it status quo, grow, develop?
marketing campaign include that segment. Backcountry skiers, of course, use the existing technology, so that's a great crossover to be able to target those pilots with your aviation technology. And similarly with fishing, hunting, fishing go very close hand in hand, so kind of encompassing all of that within that marketing strategy and expanding outwards from the wearables and from the backcountry consumer.
One of the things that you noted in your opportunities for improvement is the stock price decrease issue. Can you isolate that a little bit and be specific about how you'll manage the stock price decline?
Right, so we believe that the reason for your stock price decline is due to the wearable industry and the rising up of other competitors in the market. And so by really bolstering your wearables segment, we think that that'll help with your stock price.
Can you share how the app that you intend to suggest us to develop is going to be different than what's currently on the market? And I feel as though that app options that are available is really saturated, and how is this going to be different than what's already there?
Right, so